61-yard single. All right, decision made by Demetrius Penrose. Penalty down. We'll check out the infraction when we return.
Swipe your club card at Safeway for automatic $1 million touchdown to win entry. If your name appears, you won a trip for two to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You'll fly Air Transat for an all-inclusive 7-night stay at Villa Veradero, all courtesy of World of Vacations. Swipe your club card at Safeway today.
$7:59 to go in the third quarter. We're still awaiting the decision on what the penalty was when we went to break. Fleming sailed a 61-yarder.
Saskatchewan, number 76, first down.
Well, that's bad news for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Because they gave up the single
That's
point.
right.
Now they lose the yardage on what they would have had.
Well, Fleming, with the win, had done a nice job of punting the ball into the corners and getting it out of bounds on around the 10-yard line, something the Saskatchewan Roughriders obviously didn't want. They want to give up a single to get that yardage back and get some field position. Well, the one time they do, they get the holding
Well,
penalty.
you get nailed for holding on a play where you're not trying to return the football.
That's right.
Right? The single.
Yeah, the only good news about that is they don't give up the single now because they took the penalty.
Oh, okay, so there you go. 26-15 remains the score. And at the 5-yard line, that's what Fleming, the 61-yarder, has put the Roughriders up against. And obviously they're looking to run the ball out of there every once in a while, and Darren Davis had nowhere to go that time.
Just establishing the line of scrimmage. This is a Edmonton Eskimo defense that has started to really come on in this second half. And over the last 3 games, they have been playing some great football. They've given up just 30 points, John, in the last 3 games coming into this one. 10 points a game. That's pretty amazing. Did not give up a major to the Montreal Alouettes a week ago. Now they're starting to really take it to Saskatchewan this second half.
Saskatchewan ran the ball quite effectively in the opening quarter, but it hasn't been easy since then. Until now. Davis, huge gain out to the 35. 33 yards for Darren Davis in his second game as a Saskatchewan Roughrider.
We've been watching the matchup. Doug Peterson in the middle on Andrew Green. This time it's Dan Comiskey that gets to block him, and he turns him away enough to give Darren Davis a little bit of a hole. See it up close. See Comiskey just closes the door on Doug Peterson, doesn't allow him to get back into that gap.
So a 33-yard gain gives the Eskimos something to look at here. Roughriders at the 35. It's Davis again. Broke 1 tackle, broke 2, and he's close to another first down.
Acceleration of Darren Davis. I mean, he's really hits the hole hard.
91 yards so far tonight. And his first CFL touchdown.
Well, this is a huge drive for Saskatchewan because for 2 reasons. They get all that field position back they lost, but more importantly, they're taking time off the clock. Well, Edmonton has the wind at their back.
Saskatchewan down by 9 at 26-15.
Be just short. Just that much short. Don Matthews is pacing there because he wants his team to have the football when they have the win.
A couple more first downs for Danny Barrett would be somewhat pleasing here with just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Saskatchewan 119 yards rushing compared to 44 for Edmonton, which is a bit of a surprise. 2nd and inches, and that should be enough. Burris himself.
You know, and the other part of the strategy here when you're dealing with wind is when you're against it and you have the football, you take the full 20 seconds in the huddle because every second is so important. So Danny Barrett will send in the play. Henry Burris is in there. He'll take his time. He'll look at the clock. He'll make sure it runs down as far as it can before he snaps that football so that he uses up and eats up as much as the clock as he can while he's facing the wind.
Darrell Hobbs flanks to the near side on first down, Saskatchewan. Darren Davis found a way to get extra yards after it seemed like he was wrapped up.
Looked like Robert Brown made some penetration that turned him around. What a play Robert Brown made last week when he ran down Mike Pringle to save a touchdown. I thought it was the key play in that Edmonton game. Sort of the guy that doesn't really get talked about. He's right in the middle of your screen. You see how he gets upfield and really forces that play to go the opposite direction. He made the play of the game in my mind last week versus Montreal. Great hustle play. He ran down Mike Pringle for about 55 yards.
2nd and 6, Saskatchewan. And Bendros didn't seem to make a move on it. I don't know if he didn't see the ball or what.
Well, but a good drive nonetheless for Henry Burris. He got a whole bunch of field position back, took some time off the clock, and now Paul McCallum will get a chance to actually punt the football instead of running backwards and giving up 2 points in the safety. Yep. So that's what he bought the Saskatchewan Roughriders with that drive. No, they didn't score, but it's still a successful drive.
Yeah, a couple of first downs are key.
And took 3 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock and got 46 yards of real estate.
And now McCallum gets a chance, although it's into the breeze. And again, waiting as long as he possibly can to take that time away from the Eskimos. Henry Williams wrapped up by the first tackler upfield for Saskatchewan, Randy Swerchenski. 1st and 10 Eskimos. Back at Taylor Field, Regina, a breezy night with 4:04 to play in the 3rd quarter. Kes McCorvey, 6 touchdowns on the season, including 4 in a game against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah, and he's climbing up the list. Travis Moore, what a year he's having. The Calgary Stampeders, in their game, they threw for another 450.
Yeah, and Pringle has 11, more than a couple of teams heading into this week. Behind the intended target, and Nigel Williams couldn't turn around quickly enough.
John, that's where the wind affects you when you have it. See how the wind was pushing that football around, and it pushed it behind Nigel Williams. Because this is a fairly easy throw, but watch, the ball is just going to get pushed by the wind in behind Nigel Williams. Has to turn around, and he can't corral it.
So it's 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos with the wind at their backs for 3 minutes and 37 seconds more. Green near side, and that one took off. Ricky Walters was the target. It sailed about 20 feet over his head.
Yeah, that's it. It caught the wind and just took off over his head.
Just like a kite.
You know, good news for the Edmonton Eskimos, even though they didn't get the first down, they still have the wind to punt the football, so they should get a bunch of real estate. But look at that ball just sail. Look at that. That was in the 3rd row of the bleachers by the time it was over.
The Riders have 3 deep for this kick as Fleming sails it down to the 10. Demetrius Bendros wrapped up at the 19 for about an 8-yard return. Fleming hammered a 60-yarder. There's another marker down at the line of scrimmage. We'll check it out. Another penalty against Saskatchewan, face masking this time, and it means the Riders lose a ton more field position.
Well, that's 2 penalties now in the kicking game. 2 Sean Fleming punts. 1 went into the end zone. They gave up that single, and then they got the yardage, but there was a penalty there. They've given up 30 yards now in penalties.
26 to 15, the Eskimos have the lead on Saskatchewan. Riders beginning at the 6. And the run worked well the last time they were down there, and it's working not badly here as well. Darren Davis averaged 3.5 yards last week. His average is up substantially.
Well, if you were ever going to fool a team, John, and on the next play, run a little play action and try and go over the top or try and throw the football, now would be the time. You're against the wind. You got about a yard to go for the first down. You're in your own end. If you're ever going to fool a defense, now would be the time. You think Danny Barrett will gamble?
Well, I don't think so. Not, yeah? You think so? No.
No, I don't.
14 carries, 104 yards for Davis down. And had a little bit more there. And And there's a penalty flag one more time. Well, a hard-hitting game, Glenn, without question.
Yeah, we talked about that battle inside with Doug Peterson and Andrew Green, and they've been swinging and punching, and there's Peterson right there. Look at Green's pushing him back, and then he goes on to Carter and leaves him with Jeremy O'Day, and then a little pushing afterwards, and then
Holding. Saskatchewan.
That's
Number 54. Down repeated.
Gene Mikowski could have got a late hit there. Jeremy O'Day got the holding call. But that's been a great battle.
Yeah, it seems it's pretty even.
I think it is right now.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson is starting to win the second half a little bit. Drawing a penalty there, getting under the skin of Andrew Green and Jeremy O'Day.
Yeah, that's all part of the whole deal, right? When you win the battle in the trenches.
Well, sure, and it's a
Couple of
guy.
penalties here or there.
The other thing is, it's a guy who can keep his composure when it starts to get chippy. Make sure when they throw that flag, it's not you they're penalizing.
Riders are looking at first and a bunch, first and 19. This guy's running well. It's Darren Davis. The ball squirted loose, but I think it came back to Saskatchewan.
Whoa.
Yeah, Davis fumbled earlier, and it cost the Roughriders 6.
Sure did. He's fighting for extra yards, and sometimes it's getting him in trouble, because once you get hit at the line of scrimmage as a running back and get kind of held up, the rest of the tacklers will go in there and try and take the ball. And Don Matthews is a master at teaching that. Once a guy is held up, he'll teach all the other guys to go in. He's a little bit hurt, Darren Davis, going out to the sideline. Rip that ball out of there if you're the second and third tackler.
Timeout at Taylor Field, and it's a chance for Henry Burris to talk to his head coach. And down there, the Riders running back Darren Davis is being attended to, too. He was shaken up on the last carry.
Don Matthews wants to call the timeout now and save as much time as he can in this quarter. There's a minute 33 left. He calls his timeout, uses his second half timeout in the third quarter, try and save one more drive with the wind.
He's got a minute 32 with the wind. If in fact the Eskimos get the ball back right here and now, it's 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 actually. Riders at 17. Henry Burris looked to take off himself, and he was thinking that all the way.
Well, we talked about Doug Peterson starting to win the battle in the second half. Well, let's see what he does on this play. It's Doug Peterson, 94 against 2. Andrew Green and Jeremy O'Day gets off that, turns around and goes, gotcha. He gets under those legs. Trips up Henry Burris, so they're putting 2 on him now.
So another tick beside Peterson's name, right?
You know, he is, I'll tell you what, if he is not the toughest guy in this league, I don't know who is. Doug Peterson, if he was on that Survivor show, he'd have ate all the other contestants by now.
Well, yeah.
He'd just eat them. It'd be over.
Yeah, the series would have been short.
It'd been short, 1 week. Take that million, thank you very much.
This is kind of a Survivor series here tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Saskatchewan Roughriders at this point are just waiting till they get the win. That's what they're trying to do, just trying to kill this quarter.
I don't think with the problems Saskatchewan has had that they can realistically allow Edmonton to score any more points here at this stage of things. I mean, they're down 26 to 15.
But they have no choice now but to give up another safety.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that.
They really don't. They have to give up 2. That's 8 points now. Have I done the math correctly?
You've done the math correctly.
4 safeties.
Adding this 2 here, and then on turnovers, they've given up another 10.
It's just winning that field position battle, and a couple penalties have hurt Saskatchewan because of that. Now he's going to have to give up another 2. Try and kill as much time as he can. Hold on.
55 seconds left in the third quarter for the Eskimos with the wind. It's 28 to 15 right now. Well, you'll be up bright and early tomorrow morning to watch the PGA Championship.
Can't wait. No, it's been fun.
This will be
I've
your
watched
quiet time on the couch.
Yeah, you just lie. Everyone whispers. It's great. I love it.
Tiger Woods has the lead by only a shot on Dunlap. Davis Love is in the hunt, only 4 back. So we've got it for you beginning at 10:30 Eastern time tomorrow. PGA Championship.
How's your game?
My game is not well, Glenn.
Is that a bad question to ask? I guess it was the wrong time.
My game is 18 holes I've played this summer.
Just the one, just the 18?
Just 118.
All right. Do I ask the score or no?
You know what? It was so long ago I can't remember. It wasn't great.
Wasn't triple figures?
Wasn't. Yeah, it might have been over the century mark.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Neil on green, first down, Edmonton, far side. He connects with Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn is hammered.
Well, other than that one catch that he made, that 29-yarder when Neil on green was scrambling around, Terry Vaughn's been pretty quiet. You credit a very young secondary. You think Terry Vaughn would be excited about this game simply because he's playing against a secondary full of rookies.
Yeah, and one of the rookies down there is McCullough, and I forgot his first name, but I know you know it.
Ladafius.
Ladafius McCullough made the hit. 2nd and 1, and the Eskimos easily turn it into a first down with 5 seconds left. Craig Carr carrying for Edmonton, so it'll be first down with 1 second on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Saskatchewan trailing by 13 at 28-15.
Oh, 1 second left with the wind. You may want to try and go up top on one play. Got the wind at your back. Send everybody deep and just try and go up over top while you still have it.
This will be it. Last play, 3rd quarter, barring a penalty.
Nope.
They didn't like your strategy one little bit.
Run it instead. All right.
Mark Nora. And no markers. So 15 minutes to go. The Roughriders have the wind as they try and come back against Don Matthews and the Edmonton Eskimos.
Adidas Friday Night Football on TSN at the quarter. Brought to you by New Arctic Ice, the invigorating new fragrance of the Gillette series. It's beyond refreshing.
So for the 3rd straight quarter, the team against the wind shut out. First quarter was 15-0 Saskatchewan. 2nd quarter, 17-0 Edmonton. 3rd quarter, 11-0 Edmonton. Saskatchewan wanted it this way, though. They wanted the wind in the 4th, and this game's anything but over.
No, it is, and it's going to get real interesting here in the 4th quarter. But it gets interesting when you're going into the wind and you're trying to drive the football out of your own end. And with Saskatchewan, they simply have to understand that you can't go east and west to the sidelines. You have to go north and south, get positive yards, and this is exactly what they do right here. They go north-south, they break a big one, get themselves out of poor field position, and it becomes a big factor, Eric, in this 4th quarter when the wind's in your face. Now it's at their back. Advantage Saskatchewan.
You're right. We still have 15 minutes to play, and the wind is in Saskatchewan's favor right now. But if the Edmonton Eskimos can hold on and win this football game, it will be a huge, huge win for them, and just another indication just how far this football team has come under Don Matthews. They really look good right now, and the possibility of winning 5 straight is awfully big, Chris.
Yeah, it is, but I tell you, I really like the fact that the Saskatchewan Roughriders got their 100 yards, because if they did not, given these conditions, I think there would be a much bigger separation in terms of points. Remember, this was the worst football team rushing the football, where they had their best running game tonight, and I think that's going to provide dividends going in the 4th quarter, James.
All right, in case you missed it, there is a new leader atop the Eastern Conference in the CFL. Quit hitting each other. Get along, darn it. Hamilton beats Montreal 37-26. Ticats now lead the Owls by a point in the East. Back to Regina.
That's 2 losses in a row for the Alouettes, and the Ticats are back on top. That will be a tussle right to the very end between those 2 teams. Looking at the Eskimos huddle down there, Leo Groenwagen right in the center of everything. Has been for a lot of years.
Boy, is he ever, and has not missed a football game. An offensive lineman that has not missed a game. That's...
This is 241 straight games for Leo Groenwagen. Second and long.
Well, on the
And-
upside, and you look at the numbers after 3 quarters, on the upside for Saskatchewan is the rushing yards. They're moving the football along the ground, but they need to make this now. They've got to make that go in, like put a 2 in front of that in this 4th quarter. They got to put the ball in the air. They got to get up on top. They got the wind at their backs now, and it's the long quarter. So that's where you got to start putting the ball in the air.
Yeah, and it's Sean Fleming's turn now to kick into the breeze. So the Riders should enjoy better field position. Fleming standing back inside his 40 and ready to return. Darryl Hobbs can't get to it. It's actually Demetrius Bendros comes up with the ball at the 25. No return really to speak of.
You know, John, when you're a head coach like Danny Barrett on a new team, a young team like this, you haven't won a game yet. You start to say to yourself, are we getting better? Well, offensively, they are better. Look at what they did this time last year in 1999. They're up 66 points, but look at this one. Down a little bit rushing. They haven't really found that replacement for Saunders, but 624 yards passing increase from a year ago after 6 games. Really incredible. You break that down into 6 games, and you're looking at over 100 yards every single game they've improved.
Riders keep it on the ground in their first possession, and there's a penalty flag that accompanies the running play.
So the question there for Danny Barrett is, are we getting better? Have we improved our football team offensively? The answer for him is yes, they have.
Davis was the ball carrier, and we await the decision of the officials.
Holding. Saskatchewan, number 68. Repeat first down.
That's Andrew Green, and that could be very costly for the Roughriders.
Well, they've had the timing on their penalties has been terrible.
Yeah.
You know, they lost a ton of field position in the kicking game when Sean Fleming was punting. He's working on Doug Peterson, who's now really taking a command in this trench battle we've been talking about. If you got to start tackling them, you're going to get penalties. Really going to hurt your football team, but timely penalties.
66 yards the Riders have been penalized. 1st and 20 here for Henry Burris. Out of the pocket, far side.
Nope, he's out.
Curtis Marsh.
Yeah, he was
Couldn't
out.
hang in.
The force of the throw pulled Curtis Marsh out of bounds.
It wasn't the wind.
Well, the wind helped the force of the throw. Look at the strength of the throw to the sideline. Real hard pass. Now watch the ball pull him. He caught it. The ball pulls him to that white stripe, and the first foot down, and the only foot down was right on the stripe. The official was bang on the call. Look at that. Right out of bounds.
So now it flips to 2nd and 20. The Riders pinned back at the 18 after the penalty. And so far in the 4th quarter, the wind has been of no advantage at all to Saskatchewan. 2nd and 20. Burris. Great catch. Dan Farthing. First down.
Oh, what a play by the veteran Dan Farthing. Great play because it was a high throw, and he had to go up where the bullets are flying right over the middle to catch it. He knows he's going to get hit. Holds on to that football at 1st down yardage. Huge play, and that average will balloon a little bit after a big play like that.
Yeah,
18.5.
23 yards. So the total for Dan Farthing, and maybe the biggest play of the night for the Riders outside of the scoring plays.
I think it is.
Far side, another catch. It's Marsh this time. Spins. And we'll see where they spot him down, but good effort after he made the catch, 8 yards.
John, that play by Dan Farthing is an emotional lift for the team now, too. You're in a hole in 2nd and 20 after a couple bad penalties, one bad penalty to Andrew Green, and Dan Farthing, the veteran, comes up with a play like that. It lifts the whole team, not only the team that's out there, the offensive side of the ball, but also defensively on the bench. The guys are excited about a big play that's made, giving them a chance to keep this drive alive. Now, that goes a long way. It's not just the yardage.
This will be 2nd and 2. The Riders out at the 49 now. Burris, good fake, kept himself, flags are down as Burris dances down the far side for a 1st down. But there were penalty markers down right along the line.
Jeremy O'Day and Doug Peterson were pushing and shoving and fighting well after the play was over. Henry Burris was over there talking to Don Matthews, but they were just battling again. Look at the Green now. He drops him off to O'Day. Look at this. That's the takedown move. You're going to get called for that. I'm sure that was a penalty. Now you get up and a little pushing and shoving. Look at this match.
Holding.
You know what they're going to...
Saskatchewan, number 54.
Let's just take it out in the street. Let's take it out in the street and just drop the gloves right now.
Well, another big play.
Here's a show. You want to do a show. You put those two guys on the island. Just put them on the island. And that's a show. Now you got a show. Whoa, man.
Well, costly penalty, Saskatchewan. It's now 2nd and 12 facing Henry Burris. And a miscommunication over there between quarterback and receiver.
Yeah, he had him. It was Marsh.
Yeah.
He had Curtis Marsh on the sideline. I think he thought he was just going to curl it up, though. Marsh runs down. Marsh was mad at himself right after he saw the football. I think he was supposed to just stop there. Stop on the numbers and curl it up. See, he broke to the outside. The ball went right through those numbers. And again, it's a timing play. So Henry Burris has to throw the football before Marsh makes the break.
28-15, Saskatchewan trailing by 13 with the wind at the Roughriders' backs, but the ball belongs to Edmonton, and here comes the gives, but penalty.